Hi friends, welcome back to math. Today we're going to be talking about length and height. So length is how long something is. I could say that this table's length is 1, 2, 3 and a half hands long. Now, height is how tall something is. Miss Day is 5 feet 1 inch tall. So let's do a little bit of length and height. I have some little animals here. I've got Little Bit. I've got this gift that I got from a student. I've got this little lion that I made and gave to Mr. Day a long time ago. Oh, he won't really sit up. And then I've got this little kitty cat. So we're going to put these in order from shortest to tallest. Now, we can do that just by looking at them, and we can say, oh, there's some that are taller than the other. But if we want to be exactly sure how tall something is, we can use this thing called a ruler. A ruler usually will have two sides. The one that I have only has one side, and it's got inches on it, okay? And this ruler is only half a foot long, or 6 inches long. I use this ruler for when I'm doing my arts and crafts because I don't need a full foot ruler. I just need a half a foot. So that's what we're going to use for our little animals today because our animals are not a foot tall. All right, so I'm going to use my ruler and we're going to measure the height of these animals. First, let's start with this little guy. So I'm going to take the bottom of my ruler and I'm going to line it up with the bottom of my little animal. And then I'm going to just put my finger right where the top of his ear is. This little guy is exactly 6 inches tall, according to my ruler. So you know that he is 6 inches tall. Let's look at this lion. Gonna line him up. Now I don't know if we'll count his hair because his hair is kind of poofy, so I'll put my hand on top of his head, kind of squish the hair down. We'll go straight from his forehead. This lion is a little over 5 inches tall. So is 5 less than 6? Yes, it is. So this guy, despite the fact that his hair's super poofy, if you look at foreheads, this guy's actually a little bit shorter than this guy. It's a good thing we measured. We wouldn't have known that. All right, now let's measure this pink kitty. Ooh, wow. If we go from forehead, this pink kitty is just over 6 inches tall. So just a little taller than 6 inches. So if Pink Kitty's taller than this guy, that means Pink Kitty's also taller than this guy. Let's see how tall Little Bit is. We're going to put our finger right on his forehead. He is 4 inches tall. He's our shortest friend. So let's line them up from shortest to tallest. So he was 4 inches. Let's see. Oh, this one was 5. He won't sit up. This one was 6. And this one was over 6. So we have all of our friends here in order from smallest to biggest. But what about length? Because we could have these friends in order from tallest to shortest. But what about longest to shortest? So if we're going to measure length, we're going to go across their body. So if I was going to measure length, I would be going across my body here. So we're going to go across their body. I'm going to use my ruler again, and I'm going to line it up. Now, from side of his foot to side of his foot, Little Bit is 3 inches wide. Okay, let's look at this guy. From side of his foot to side of his foot, this lion is 5 inches wide. From side of his foot to side of his foot, this guy is 4 inches wide. And from side of his foot to side of his foot, he's over 6 inches wide. Wow. All right, so they just get rearranged a little bit. Little Bit is the shortest with our width, with our length. Then there's this guy, the lion, and our pink cat. So we did their height, how tall they are, and their length, how wide they are. You can go around and measure things in your house using a ruler, like Miss Day used. But you don't have to use a ruler. Remember at the very beginning when I talked about length, I measured using my hands. 1, 2, 3.5 hands. That's a way that you can measure things too. But you have to be careful because your hands might be smaller than someone else's hands. So if I say it's 3.5 of Miss Day's hands, it might be more of your hands because your hands are smaller than mine. So whenever you're doing it that way, you gotta be extra careful too. But you could also do beads. You could say something was so many beads long. We could measure by saying it's so many pieces of paper long. You can measure using anything. I just like to use a ruler. Thank you, friends, for joining us, talking about height and length. And I would love to see you measuring some things around your house.